me and Steve, we're partners in all of this. The motor's mine, the truck's his.
Yeah.
And I don't want her to sell it because we think she poisoned him.
Yeah.
What would you do with $30 million? Buy a few new luxury cars or your dream home in Europe? Would you pay off all your debts and get out of town? Maybe you'd buy a jet and disappear to a private island. $30 million is a lot of money, and what you might do with it is an exciting thought. But for 51-year-old Stephen Riley Jr., perhaps the question should have been, if you had $30 million, what could you lose? The answer? Your life. In spring of 2023, Riley received an official-looking notice with a letterhead that read Arab Bank. The letterhead indicated that the notice came from Geneva, Switzerland, and even included a phone number and email for Riley to contact. In the body of the notice, the writer lamented the irreplaceable loss of Riley's relative, Mr. Marvin Walter Riley, and stated that Stephen should appear at the bank's corporate office to discuss his claim to the estate. Riley wasn't familiar with a Marvin Walter Riley, but the notice seemed legitimate, and regardless of the document's ambiguity, it piqued his interest. There was only one problem. Arab Bank was in Switzerland, and Riley lived with his longtime partner, then 47-year-old Ina Kenoyer, in Minot, North Dakota. The notice advised Riley to handle the matter of the estate as quickly as possible, but there was virtually no way he and Kenoyer would be able to make the trip to Geneva. Luckily, the notice provided a convenient solution. If Riley was unable to appear at the corporate office, Arab Bank would refer his brief to one of their accredited attorneys. The next steps were unclear, so Riley would need to be in touch with the sender. At the bottom, the notice was signed, "Thanks, Information Desk, Arab Bank." It was all pretty vague but intriguing. A distant relative in Switzerland had died and left his entire estate to Riley. He spoke with Kenoyer and they decided to follow up. Riley sent a message to the email address listed at the top of the document, and so began a dialogue with a man named Richard Eglin. The emails between Eglin and Riley spanned months. The timeline dragged on, but it made sense to Riley and Kenoyer given the large size of the estate. According to Eglin, Riley was the rightful heir of Mr. Marvin Walter Riley's $30 million fortune. And who could turn that down? Not Riley, and certainly not Kenoyer. Ina Kenoyer met Riley while staying at a homeless shelter in Washington state over a decade ago. Soon after, Riley found himself in North Dakota. In 2011, Riley invited Kenoyer to join him, and that's when things got serious. By 2023, the couple had been together for 13 years. Other than Riley, she didn't have any friends or family in Minot, so we used truthfinder.com to learn more about Ina Kenoyer. On truthfinder.com, we typed in Kenoyer's name, approximate age, and her home state of Washington. In under a minute, our paid subscription service gave us access to personal information and traffic reports dating all the way back to 2006. We even found information like possible email addresses she could have used to email Richard Eglin and a link to Stephen E. Riley under the Personal Information tab. Unlimited reports with this kind of information and more are available in minutes to anyone with a paid subscription. Law and Crime partners with Truthfinder so our writers and reporters can research cases and reveal real information about suspects like Ina Kenoyer. But even if you don't work in true crime, Truthfinder.com can give you peace of mind when you do these unlimited public record searches for the people around you. Search for sex offenders in your area, find out if your new neighbor is safe enough to invite over for dinner, and learn about the people in your life when you search their name on Truthfinder.com, and they'll never know you looked. If you're watching this episode of Law and Crime Investigates, you can get 50% off your first month of confidential background reports at truthfinder.com/LC Interrogations. The link is in the description. Though there was no documentation filed, Kenoyer referred to herself as Riley's common-law wife. In some states, common-law marriages are as legally binding as traditional marriages, just not in the state of North Dakota, though Kenoyer didn't seem to know that. But she would soon find out.
I'm so confused, man.
On September 5th, 2023, Minot police were called to Kenoyer and Riley's home over a dispute regarding a vehicle. According to Kenoyer, Riley's friend Billy was trying to take his truck.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on?
Kenoyer briefly told the officer who knocked on her door about her disagreement with Billy, but that appeared to be the least of her concerns. Kenoyer was exceptionally busy that day dealing with paperwork related to the estate. After all, there was a lot of money to claim, and she had a flight to book. Yes, it seemed Kenoyer had big plans for Riley's inheritance. and she told the officer all about them.
He keeps trying to take Steve's truck
Where's the truck at?
in the garage.
Oh, so
And he's the one that nailed it all shut.
Who is?
Billy.
Billy's the one that nailed it shut?
I want him to pick it. Not me.
Is this the paperwork on the thing? Or?
No. This is property
Okay.
that Steve was buying
Oh.
after his inheritance got here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to... I think he left it to his son, but I had to Google where to go to get his inheritance switched over to the people he left it to. I don't know.
Okay. Who actually is the owner of this truck?
Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in his name.
It's in his name?
Yeah, the title's coming. Yeah, we were gonna get all his fines paid off, get both of our license, get some new cars,
Okay.
go to Ireland, get married, stay in his family castle or whatever, because that's what he wanted to do.
Wow.
And the day he was supposed to meet his lawyer at the airport, apparently I thought it was heat stroke, and he said it was heat stroke. That was the last day I talked to him.
Okay.
Just 2 days before police came knocking, Riley had planned to finalize his rights to the estate. A series of emails showed he was still in communication with Richard Eglin, the representative who claimed to be from Arab Bank. The plan was to meet with one of the bank's accredited attorneys at a North Dakota airport. His friend, Billy, agreed to go with him. There, they would complete the transaction so Riley would return home a multimillionaire. But the home he would come back to wasn't where you might expect a man with $30 million to live. In their home in Minot, Riley and Kenoyer's living conditions were less than ideal. From the outside, the house seemed to be in stable shape. It wasn't pristine, but it wasn't alarming either. Body camera evidence revealed that on the inside, things were much worse. Riley and Kenoyer lived amongst endless clutter and garbage, including an array of empty beer cans and bottles. Stained clothes and trash were strewn across the floor and the furniture in every room. In the kitchen, dirty pans and open food containers piled up on the counter, atop the stove, and in the sink. It would have been difficult to cook, walk, or even sleep in the home. $30 million would have afforded them a cleaner, more functional living space, a fresh start, a new life. There was one thing standing in their way, or out of their way. That accredited attorney never showed up to the airport, and apparently that wasn't the first time he bailed. But that day, on September 3rd, Riley couldn't continue waiting. He began to feel ill. Throughout that evening and the following day, his condition worsened. Riley's friends tried to get him to a medical professional, but Kenoyer refused their help, and they weren't happy about it. So when police arrived to speak with Billy and Kenoyer on September 5th, Billy had his own story to tell.
The other day, she threw all the stuff out in the yard.
From his house?
Yeah, and he come out and he was holding his head down. And then we're supposed to go up to the airport and meet this guy because he's supposed to get quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So we went up there, come back, we had to help him out of the car, had to help him in the house. Well, his old landlord come out, he come and helped me get him in there.
Okay. Well,
And actually, that truck belongs to
who's?
that lives out,
Yeah.
and he'll be here in a little bit too.
Earlier that morning, Kenoyer told one of Riley's other friends that he had already gone to a nearby clinic and that he was suffering from heat stroke. Something about Kenoyer's demeanor left the friend with an uneasy feeling, so he visited nearby clinics and the local emergency room in an attempt to locate Riley, but not a single one confirmed he had ever stopped by. Several hours later, Riley lost consciousness. He was flown to a hospital in Bismarck, North Dakota for emergency treatment, but it was too late. He never woke up. Stephen Riley Jr. died in a hospital bed on Sunday, September 5th, 2023. And that uneasy feeling Riley's friend had, it never left. In fact, he wasn't the only one who felt it. Several of Riley's friends and family members were suspicious of his sudden death. They wondered, was it really heat stroke that killed Riley? If he sought medical attention the morning of September 5th, like Kenoyer had said, why couldn't anyone corroborate her story? And another daunting question lingered in their minds. If Kenoyer's story wasn't true, why would she lie? It seemed like Kenoyer knew they were growing skeptical of her, so she jumped at the first opportunity she had to turn the tables on them. Kenoyer told Minot police unprompted that she believed Riley's friends were out to kill him. And according to her, Riley knew it too.
The last thing you said was get a restraining order, get in the property, and make sure you don't get paid. That change it over. And that I was right about his friends. Because when I left him a while back, like a year ago, I told him, you gotta go with me. Your friends are gonna kill you. You gotta leave them. I don't care if you're here, but get a real job and don't ever talk to them again, because they will kill you. Apparently he was poisoned. I'm finding out. With antifreeze.
Okay.
The compounds are similar to antifreeze.
Huh.
I don't know. He ingested it smoking a cigarette, because he was always spilling crap on his cigarettes and smoking it, or if somebody did it, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't even know that happened until, like I said, the doctor told me it looks like poisoning.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear all that.
At least part of her story was true. Tests run by the medical examiner proved those in Riley's inner circle were right to be suspicious. Toxic levels of ethylene glycol, the active ingredient in antifreeze, were found in Riley's system, just like Kenoyer said. So, Riley wasn't suffering from heat stroke, like Kenoyer originally claimed. Stephen Riley Jr. had been poisoned. But who had done it? Riley's friends or a noxious cigarette, like Kenoyer suggested? Riley's friend Billy had a different suspect in mind.
If you just keep her from not selling all his stuff, everything will be fine.
Was it her husband?
No. They're not married.
Well, we can't babysit what she does, though.
Right. Well, I mean, me and Steve, we're partners and all of this. The motor's mine, the truck's his.
Yeah.
And I don't want her to sell it because we think she poisoned him.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure she poisoned him.
So what's your plan right now?
We're making sure nothing goes.
Okay.
Nothing goes.
And you're not taking anything?
No.
Okay. So are you going to stay here, or what's your plan?
Stay right here until make sure nobody takes this stuff.
Yeah.
Because when they go to jail, they die.
I mean,
People come and clean out.
how long are you going to stay here?
I'm going to stay here until his son gets here.
Oh.
His
Whose
son's
son?
out of state.
His son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he blocked her
Yeah.
because she told him that she was selling all this stuff. And he
Yeah.
got mad, and so I found out a little while ago that he died. He's dead.
Yeah.
Steve's dead.
Okay. When's the son supposed to get here?
He's not dead! I told you!
He
Stop!
He's not!
is dead. He's dead.
I just told his son!
And he was poisoned.
Not dead yet!
And he was poisoned.
The officers were also becoming suspicious of Kenoyer's strange attitude, especially as she denied Riley had died. Her alleged intentions to sell Riley's truck were curious too, especially because according to Billy, it wasn't even registered in Riley's name. Kenoyer had no right to sell it, or any of Riley's belongings.
So if I run the VIN on that truck, who's it going to come back to? Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Terry, you want to take the truck? We can run the VIN. You mind if I run it right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And it'll come back to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back to me.
What last name?
It'll come back.
All right, let me just take a look at it.
As the officers tried to determine who the truck belonged to, Billy told them about Riley and Kenoyer's toxic relationship. He said that just a few days before Riley's death, he saw Kenoyer throwing Riley's things out into the yard. At the time, Billy couldn't have been sure the exact reason for the argument, but it might have had something to do with what Riley's friends would tell investigators later on. Once he finalized his $30 million inheritance, Riley planned to leave Kenoyer. The list of reasons to be wary of the circumstances surrounding Riley's death were only getting longer.
Well, good, Terry. You can certainly call him so I can get his information and see if there's a truck that comes back
Oh,
into
he'll
him.
be glad to come see you. Because he's not happy. She was supposed to call the ambulance. She never called the ambulance.
All right.
When he's at the clinic. He went to every clinic yesterday. He wasn't around. Went to the hospital. He wasn't there. He come back over here, knocked on the door. She wouldn't answer. And he hollered through the door. He said, he's not at none of them places. Well, as soon as he left, and he got almost by Walmart, she called the ambulance. Took him to the hospital.
How long ago was this?
Yesterday.
So where did he die?
They shipped him to
No, I mean, where was he at when the ambulance picked him up?
right here.
Okay, he was here?
There.
Yeah. Okay. All right, just don't take anything. It's here. We'll see if because we have to figure out whose truck this is before it's taken away from here.
Well, it's been, I know there was plates on it when we picked it up,
Yeah.
and it's been at least 15 years ago.
Yeah. It's been a while since it's been registered, so.
And he gave it to Steve, and it needed a motor, so I gave him the motor. We was just putting it in. And and then everybody's telling me she's over here selling it.
Well, she's not going to. Well, what is she going to take and sell?
All my tools, his tools.
Well, that's
And
something.
I think it should go to his son. I think that should
Everything by law, everything goes to the son. So, okay.
But he lives in, he lives out of state.
What's the son's name?
I know his last name's Rowley.
Well, I do too.
I don't know his first name.
You ran him? You ran him?
Yeah.
All right. What's your first name?
Billy?
Billy. All right, Billy.
All right. We go here.
All right. What? Who? I don't know.
I think that's what dispatch was saying.
That she hasn't?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
He does have the title. He got the title that.
How did she get that? And how do you know she has it for certain?
I think give it to him and he took it in the house when he got here.
But you don't know she has it though. You didn't actually. No, you didn't actually see it though. So we don't know.
Right. But
Okay.
you could ask her. It don't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
Just ask to see it. I mean, that'll clear up everything.
Alrighty. Feel free to talk to her. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Clearing everything up is exactly what the officers planned to do, and possibly what Kenoyer was hoping to avoid.
What was Riley's first name next door, do you know?
I think the person she was referring to was actually on the card.
Yeah.
After the officer momentarily returned to his squad car, Kenoyer finally answered the door for Officer Birch.
Somebody comes and steals his truck after. If it's true, if he died in Bismarck, steal the same day when his son was supposed to get it.
Do you have the title for that truck? You do. Can I at least take a look at it and see whose name is on it?
It's coming in the mail.
Oh,
'Cause
you don't have it
He
yet?
finally went.
Who did?
He had a couple dollars to finally go get it switched over.
So you don't have it? Okay.
If not, unless it's in the mailbox. I don't know.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. Just he's gonna sit there waiting for buddy. Just ignore him, please. Okay. He's not gonna be taking anything. Okay. Alrighty. All right. We're gonna go.
As the officer prepared to leave, Kenoyer asked him one final question. Was Stephen Riley Jr., her partner of the last 13 years, really dead?
He is. I thought everybody knew. I'm sorry. I guess his son is on his way here. Okay. Apparently his son is on the way here. So.
His son better put them all in prison.
Yeah. Do you know the son? Do you know the son? Yeah?
I haven't seen him since he was 5.
You what?
I haven't seen him since he was 5.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's when the officers witnessed something peculiar. As soon as he delivered the news that Riley's son was on his way, Kenoyer's behavior changed. Suddenly her crying stopped and she was able to stand. She appeared cold, emotionless.
All right. Well, we're going to go. You guys just leave each other alone. Everything will be fine. Okay? All righty. Good.
8 days later, on September 13th, Kenoyer was asked to come into the police station for an interview. Investigators told her they were questioning everyone who knew Riley. They just need a little background, a few pieces of clarifying information. But right from the start, Kenoyer seemed to be spinning yet another story.
Do you have a phone number, Ina?
No.
Okay.
And the phone I did have was either I dropped it on the way home from getting the job at the motel, or I was pickpocketed. One of the two, I don't know.
Okay. When did that happen?
Today's Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Monday.
Okay.
Did I go? I can't remember if I walked down Monday.
What hotel are you working at?
I can't ever say it right.
Microtel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Microtel.
Okay. How long have you been working there?
Yesterday was my second day.
So Tuesday was your second day. Okay. What was your first day?
Oh, I had Monday off because I couldn't walk.
Okay.
Because the day before, I walked and filled out the application, and I was pretty much hired right there.
Okay. What day was that?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
So Kenoyer might not have a phone or a very clear memory of the last few days, but that was all right with investigators, as long as she could answer some of their questions about the days and hours leading up to Riley's death. Kenoyer told investigators that Riley was a meth user who was at one point involved with another woman. So the longtime couple broke up for a while, but got back together when he signed a contract for Kenoyer promising to get a real job. Then everything changed. When Riley got the notice from Arab Bank promising him an unexpected inheritance of over $30 million, it was like a dream come true. Neither Kenoyer nor Riley would ever have to work again. But to investigators, Kenoyer's tale of a mysterious deceased uncle's Swiss estate seemed to get stranger and stranger.
It just appeared, and he showed it to me one day.
The letter?
Yeah. And he wanted me to have a copy to make sure, if something ever happened to him. And he was reading that the money wasn't cursed or whatever. He's like, every single person that went for the Riley money over there,
Yeah.
even this 21-year-old, had passed away.
What do you mean? I guess the inheritance had been left for other people too, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, is it cursed? And people that go after it are dying? He's like, oh no, maybe. I was like, well then don't go after it. How silly is that, Just go get a real job. Don't worry about it.
How much money was it?
It was supposed to be 17 million.
Okay.
And some odd hundreds.
Okay.
17,500,000, something like that.
Okay.
But with all the property sold off, it ended up being 37 million.
So there was cash and then the properties were sold.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know this was from a family member?
And I gave it to Brian, the paperwork
Okay.
that I printed out to make sure, I have some, just in case something did happen to him, I could give it to his son to track it down or whatever.
So
I gave all the information
who was it supposed to be coming from? Who was the family member?
God, without his phone. Marcus something Riley?
Close, but the name on the letter read Marvin Walter Riley, Riley's alleged uncle. Kenoyer didn't know him, but that was okay. Riley didn't either, which for investigators set off alarm bells. Remember Richard Eglin, the man who had been communicating with Riley via email over the last few months but never showed up to the airport? He laid it out clearly for the couple, and now Kenoyer was breaking it down for investigators.
So it was foreign, the uncle's foreign, and the money is in a foreign account.
Yeah.
And so how was he going to get the money? What was the plan?
Well, the lawyer guy wanted to give him to get a bank account.
The lawyer
originally.
Okay, so he wanted to
so he could just deposit it into his bank account.
Okay.
It couldn't be nobody else's bank account.
Sure.
According to the lawyer.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I can give you a few bucks, you know, because I think I was just broke my ankle working for Arby's, so I told him I can give you a couple bucks.
Okay.
No, I got my tax return.
Okay.
Tax return.
So what do you, and that's to put money in to open an account?
For him.
Okay.
In his name only.
Okay. So he needed a couple bucks to open the bank account.
Yeah.
You gave him some money. So he did open a bank account?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Because that's when the lawyer said I need to come and physically come, see you, to write over the name or whatever.
Okay.
Transfer over the money.
Did you ever hear Steve talking to the lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Did they talk over the phone?
Yep.
And through message?
Yeah.
Okay. Was the lawyer foreign as well? Was he
English?
He was English. Okay.
Yeah.
Was he from England or?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wasn't from the U.S. He was from somewhere else. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember his name? Did he ever mention
Richard.
his name? Richard. Okay. Were you communicating at all with the lawyer?
No.
Not at all.
I emailed him a couple times when Steve asked me to, you know, can you tell him that I lost my phone or broke my phone? But the lawyer would not contact me back.
Okay.
Personally. That I'm his girlfriend, wife type thing.
Yep.
And he would like to contact you. Is there a way to contact you? You know,
And then
through
he-
legal means,
Yep.
like inheritance lawyer or something here.
Okay.
But he never, all of a sudden the email disappeared. Like it didn't exist.
The address? Okay.
Kenoyer went on to say that Riley was asked to draft a will with Richard Eglin. She alleged that in the event anything ever happened to Riley, he wanted his newfound inheritance to go to his son, his sisters, and Kenoyer.
And he was gonna fly to Minot Airport? Okay.
Yeah. But he got an email saying he wasn't going to show up.
Okay.
That there's a contestant, somebody contesting it.
Oh, okay.
So he assumed it was his sisters.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much when he kept saying, I'm going to show up at this time. And Steve would ride down there and he wasn't there. And then you get the email afterwards that he wasn't going to come until later and then later.
Okay.
The more Kenoyer shared with investigators, the less they believed that Richard Eglin, Marvin Walter Riley, or his estate ever existed to begin with. And the more confident they became that the woman sitting across from them was a killer. Her motive, a fake fortune. Investigators believed it was all likely to be an intricate web of lies spun by a storyteller even more practiced than Kenoyer herself, an internet scam artist. And Kenoyer wasn't alone. In 2023, the Federal Trade Commission documented 2.6 million reported cases of fraud. From those reports alone, Americans lost $1.8 billion to bank transfer or payment scams, like the one that targeted Stephen Riley Jr. Minot investigators were no strangers to frauds and imposters. They weren't falling for any of it, especially not Kenoyer. No matter how ready she was to point her finger at the other people in Riley's life, she was even willing to blame Riley himself.
As far as money goes, I mean, I know we've talked to a lot of people, and everyone said that you and Steve, basically it was, you said, you know, you guys were basically married. You had been together for a long time.
That's what's, yeah.
Were you expecting that if something, I mean, you would get money?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I would have given it to his ex-wives because they deserve it way more than I did.
Okay.
Because they were actually married.
Okay.
And I understand where they are coming from now. You know, because Cheryl stabbed him, I guess.
Is that one of his ex-wives?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's his first ex-wife. She literally stabbed him. Melissa won't talk to him at all. Put a restraining order against him.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
So you don't think Steve would actually do anything to himself? You don't think he would drink?
If
Something
he
like
did, like I said, I could see him doing it as a dare.
Okay.
You know, I bet you $1 you wouldn't drink that.
Okay.
Type kid behavior type stuff. Like I'm a teenager still in his head.
But Riley wasn't a teenager drinking antifreeze. He was a 51-year-old man who almost certainly knew better. And what better way to disguise the deadly, sweet-tasting chemical than in a glass of freshly brewed sweet tea? That's what Kenoyer told investigators she had served Riley the day he started to feel sick. Kenoyer, on her own accord, had given detectives enough details to put her messy story all together. But when they told her it wasn't quite adding up, she became hostile.
I want a lawyer.
Okay, that's fine.
Am I being arrested?
Nope, you're not being arrested. We're just talking. So, but if you want a lawyer, we can stop talking right now. That's fine.
But I'm telling you the God honest truth.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I wish I was there. I wish I was with him every second of the day that day. I wish I watched every single, but I'm not his mom.
You asked for a lawyer, Ina, so we're just gonna end this now. Okay, I'm not gonna talk anymore. All right.
You guys are so unbelievable.
That's where the interview ended, but the investigation was only getting started. The Minot PD were determined to catch the scammer and the killer. Between the two of them, only one would get away with it.
Why me?
So right now, so look at that, copy that and all that, and down there. So right now you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of the law. You have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, and you have the right to have an attorney present during any questions. You understand? You want us to lock up your house still?
Yes.
Okay, where are your keys at? Will your door even lock?
No. You guys busted open after I offered the key.
When's that?
When the detectives came and talked to me.
Okay, so it normally doesn't lock though.
Normally it does lock.
But since then it hasn't locked. Okay.
Is there anything you need from the house? Purse?
My wallet, my
Wallet?
keys,
Okay. Where is it?
my phone.
You give us permission to go inside and grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are your dogs friendly?
Yeah. Trying to take a bite out of our legs.
Where's your stuff at?
They're nice. Right on the coffee table.
Okay.
And can I have a cigarette, please?
If we let you smoke a cigarette, you're gonna be decent?
Oh, I'm decent all the time.
So, I never dealt with you, so. Just don't want you
Never
spaz
been
out.
arrested before like this.
Okay.
I've never done anything. I haven't done anything.
Right.
Not ever.
But we'll let you smoke a cigarette. Just don't spaz out on us or anything.
If I was gonna kill him, I would have killed him the day he lied to me and I found out he was doing drugs.
So, I'm just gonna grab your arm so you don't fall, alright?
And I would have done it physically, not.
Physically?
Yeah, I'm a physical woman, not a. Hide behind her back, kind of.
So we're gonna have our officers come and grab the dogs, okay? So they're gonna be at our
Should be
pen.
unlocked.
I can't afford to get him out. I gotta fix the door. You guys
Not
broke.
unlocking?
No.
That's weird. Watch it.
Just
should be able to put a hold on the dogs too, so that she doesn't get charged. Nobody out here to watch the dogs? Just you? No friends or
The
anything?
only one here.
You have any friends at work that would take them?
Nope. I have no one.
Yeah.
Steve.
You're still okay if we grab the dogs though if another officer stops by?
We just don't want them to die in there, right?
Why? How long are you holding me?
We don't know. That's why. We just want to make sure the dogs are okay. That's the main thing.
Because I'm innocent, so I should be.
We just want to make sure the dogs are fine, you know? Anytime we take somebody to jail.
Should be released, right?
Okay.
But just like the scam to which she fell victim, Kenoyer's web of conflicting stories was already unraveling. In the home she shared with Riley, investigators discovered a clear bottle with window cleaner filled with neon green liquid. Body cam images also showed Coors Light bottles and a clear plastic mug that contained traces of the deadly chemical. Ina Kenoyer was arrested on October 30th, 2023 and taken to a Ward County jail. She was charged with Class AA felony murder for poisoning her longtime boyfriend, Stephen Riley Jr. She avoided trial and a possible life sentence by pleading guilty in May 2024. She was later sentenced to 25 years, followed by 10 years of supervised probation, with 25 years suspended. In North Dakota, a person may serve a suspended sentence if they violate their probation. Kenoyer will be 83 years old by the time her first sentence and probation period is over. If she violates the terms of her probation, the judge has the power to put her right back where she came from, behind bars. Like Riley's sister said in her victim impact statement at Kenoyer's sentencing, she should consider herself lucky.
You stole more than a human life. You stole a son from his mother and stepfather. You stole a father from 5 sons, a brother from 2 sisters, an uncle from 12 nieces and nephews, and a great uncle to 8, and many friends. How does it feel to have taken so much for absolutely nothing? As so many other families of victims often feel, the punishment should fit the crime, and lucky for you, the Department of Corrections doesn't serve antifreeze in their iced tea.